Hi, I'm Sunny, and this is my podcast, Creator, Created, Creating. Short and sweet mindset shifts for intentional life creation. If you believe your value is found in the pain, it will be. So I wrote this on a Facebook and Instagram post, a little quote post that I did. And I'm going to read the rest of the post that I wrote with it. And then I want to discuss it a little more, just talk about it. So, because I think it's really, really vital for those of us who are intentional creators. And it's something that so easily we default to our conditioning on this. We really default to our conditioning. Okay, so the post is, the truth is, so again, the post reads, if you believe your value is found in the pain, it will be. The truth is, value is everywhere, in everything, and your value is everywhere and in everything, and you can always access what is valuable to you, always. But if you believe that your value is in the pain, or that value is in the pain, you will find that. It will be everywhere you look. It is one of your available options in this world. Many people, in fact, most people in the world believe that the more challenging something is, the more hard, the more brutal it is, the more valuable it is. I mean, you see that everywhere. Like just take like rock climbing or mountain climbing or extreme sports or like even business stuff. Like it runs the gamut. Anything, you see it everywhere. Like the more challenging it is, the harder it is, the more valuable it is. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's one of your available options in this world. And it's true if you choose it to be true. Because nothing is absolutely true or false. What you look for, you find. So if you carry that belief, you will find it everywhere. You will see it everywhere, and you will find evidence of it everywhere. So for example, I've seen multiple posts this week online about getting out of your comfort zone and getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And if that is what you value, then you will certainly find it. And you will create a lot of discomfort for yourself with that belief, from that belief, believing that that is going to get you where you want to go. Now, I know. Discomfort's part of life. It is uncomfortable when you do things that you haven't previously done. I get it. But you could also decide with intention to adopt a new belief that serves and support you better now, such as, my comfort zone goes with me wherever I go. I can access my comfort zone at any time, in any place. My comfort zone lives at my center and is always with me, no matter what I do. Now that belief might serve you a lot more than you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. The more uncomfortable you are, the better. It means you're doing great. It means you're doing good things. Now that belief might have served you in the past to help push you. But then maybe you're at a stage now where you're like, you know what? I don't want to be making myself uncomfortable all the time, or I don't want to do this thing with my life anymore. Nobody wants to live in constant discomfort. So it might serve you more to take your comfort zone with you, to know that your comfort zone is in the center of you and it is never removed from you, and you can go into it and enter that space at any time. You can choose to be comfortable, in other words. Or you could decide that the more peaceful and easeful and joyful and delightful and fun something is, the more valuable it is. And that challenges and hardships happen in life, but are just an invitation for you to realign with your intention and to love yourself and life more fully and completely. You have so many choices about how you choose to perceive yourself and life every single day. And these choices literally create your life experience. You are that powerful. So just notice, what kinds of things are you watching, listening to, following, and supporting? Are there a lot of the more hard and brutal this is, the more valuable and worthwhile it is messages in those things you're feeding yourself? Like extreme sports or mountain climbing or rock climbing or competition shows or things like that. And basically all the examples out there that you see in the media of winning in any arena or field. And that's an option. Some people love it. They thrive on overcoming huge mountainous challenges and overcoming adversity and overcoming pain. And they have that winning feeling from that hardship being so painful. So they love it. That's an option. There's nothing wrong with it. So is that what you want to experience? Good. You can have it. It's available to you. And would you like to experience something else maybe now? If you do, like that feeling of winning that you don't have to, endure massive amounts of pain to deserve, quote unquote, deserve. You can have that too. It's an available option to you. But you just have to decide which one that you want. And you have to notice if you feel like you need to justify that decision. And why do you need to justify that decision? And who are you trying to convince and why? And can it be enough just to decide? Period. End of story. I want to experience this in my life. Period. I know that this other option is available to me to go through massive amounts of pain and then have that winning feeling come from overcoming all this pain. Or I can choose to try something else. I can choose to embody something else. I can choose to value something else, which goes back to the original post. If you believe the value is found in pain, you'll find it. It will be there. So, you just decide. You just decide what you want to experience because everything's available to you. And you just keep re-deciding every time you default back to your prior decision because of your conditioning. Because you've been raised to believe that, to choose pain as the more valuable thing, to take on pain because it makes you feel like you deserve it more, whatever that is. But you just choose again. I value joy and flow and ease and delight. I value peace. I value comfort. And that doesn't mean I don't grow. And that doesn't mean I don't create. And that doesn't mean I'm not valuable. It's like there's this belief that comfort is not valuable. Yes, it is. And we know that challenge and hardship is valuable. But we don't know that comfort is valuable, or at least some people don't. Some people think that everybody values comfort and they need to get out of their comfort zone. And some people think that everybody values pain and they need to get out of their pain zone and go into the comfort zone. So the truth for me is that both are valuable. How I live my life is that personally, I believe that I am always receiving value and I am always being value, no matter what. Does my mind forget that a lot and beat myself to a bloody pulp? Yes, absolutely it does. But I come back to, I redecide my choice. My original choice is that I choose to know and see that everything is valuable, no matter what. And because I believe that, that's what I find. I find value in everything. And everything becomes my stepping stone to where I want to go. Not just the good stuff, not just the bad stuff, both of the stuff. All of the stuff. It's all my nugget. And I also recognize that there is a big part of me that values hardship, even when I consciously don't believe that. I consciously am like, no, I'm all about ease and flow, and I'm all about choosing that. But subconsciously, my programming is hardwired. And so I need to pay attention to that. I need to recognize that. And I see it all around me. I see it all around me, which means that it lives in me. It lives in me still. So I see it on all these shows. Like, for example, somebody had recommended, it was maybe last year or maybe 6 or 7 months ago, somebody had recommended this cooking show. And they were like, oh, it's really sweet and warm. It's different than those really brutal cooking shows. I really loved it. And so I fully respect that other people loved the show. But when I watched the show, I could not watch the show because I was so hyper aware that in the show, it was in so many of these, in like almost every competition or like reality competition type of show, no matter how like loving and fair it might be, they are just glorifying people's pain. It's like the more pain and hardship that you have been through, the more deserving you are. The more you've suffered, the more worthy of the prize you are. The more you've gone through, and they just do these whole montages of these people's pain. And this is not about not honoring their pain. It's just noticing what we're valuing. Oh, I see. I was like able to so witness like, oh, I see. It's just so clear. Like as a culture, we just extremely value people who've been through the worst things. And we extremely want them to win. And so we internalize that. So, and that's not true. It's not that we don't want that for them. When people have experienced pain, we want them to feel peace and joy and love. We want them to feel that winning feeling. We want that comes from a place of love. We want that for them. That's a natural response. However, we internalize that belief into ourselves as, oh, I see. So the harder I have it, the more worthy I'm going to be. And the harder that I let people know it's been for me, the more worthy that I'm going to be. Then I can feel like I deserve this win. And you see it in these shows as well with people who like have had it winning in their life, who have had good things. Everybody hates them. They hate them. They don't want to see winners win. So it's like we almost carry this belief like I need to keep losing to earn my win. I need to keep experiencing pain to deserve. And that's a whole bundle. We don't need to unpack that. We don't need to analyze that. We don't need to go deeper into that. There's a time when I would have done that. But now I see it much more simply, much more directly. And that is, who do I want to be right now? How do I want to experience this right now? And just decide, do I want to carry this pain and believe that this pain is my value and experience those kinds of extreme highs of having overcome this mountainous amounts of challenge and pain and then break through with my deservingness? Or do I want to experience peace and ease and flow in my body? And know that the value is there no matter what. And choose to value ease, choose to value delight, choose to value joy. Choose to value the things I really want to value instead of the things that I think are going to make me feel like I deserve or I'm worthy. But they don't. They do not. They do for like a split second, and then you're right back in that same wound like you always were. You never get out of it. So the choice is your empowerment. Your choice, what you're going to decide, what you're going to embody, that is your empowerment. There's nothing to push against. There's nothing to keep out if you just say, yeah, pain exists, challenges exist, and this is what I want to align with. And you can do what I do, which is choose to see that anything that is painful or challenging that comes into my life is part of my journey, and it's taking me there. It's part of the value, but I'm not actively seeking that out. That's the difference. Because from this other place, we're like subconsciously, actively seeking that out. So it wasn't just, this all came to mind, this from multiple things that I was seeing this week online, and then me and my husband were watching these like mountain climbing and rock climbing people and extreme river rafting people and these cooking shows and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really reflecting this belief that still lives in me. And it still lives in me, of course, because it still lives in humanity, just hugely. That the more painful it is, the more challenging it is, the bigger the reward. So I'm asking you if you would like to experiment with totally shifting that belief and seeing what happens. Now, you might think, like I said, that you already are shifting that belief. You already have. And I've been many years into that shift, and it's still there. So it's still subconsciously there. And the more we bring our awareness to that it's there, and then redecide and realign to our intention, the more powerful we're going to be. And when we do it together, even more so. So I was fired up about that today, and I wanted to share it with you, and I hope it helps. Okay, see you later. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. And if you'd like to find out more about me and my work, you can find me at sunnychapman.com.